Hey everyone and welcome to the club. Today I'll be showing you how to draw Junkrat from Overwatch. Let's get started in the middle of our page with the eye. So I'm going to start with the lower part of the eyebrow. So starting on the outside, I'm just going to draw a curve coming down and in. From this inside point, I'm just going to curl it up towards the center. Now I'm going to leave a little gap and do the same thing on the right side. And curving up and out. Now let's go to the top of the eyebrow. So from the end here, I'm just going to curve it around and then pull that up. Let's go to the right side and do the same thing. Now we're just going to draw some little jagged points along the top. So on the left side, I'm just going to curve it down so it tapers downwards. We draw another point going up. Now I'm going to pull this a little bit further in, curving down and in. We'll go to one final point, curve it up and in. Now we take that point, just curve down towards that inner part of the brow. Let's do the same thing on the right side. Go up to the second point. Now I'm going to curve this in a little bit further. Then we'll go to the last point here on the inside. Now I'm going to connect those 2 points with a curve. Now just below the eyebrows we're going to tuck in the eye. So it's basically a half circle underneath the eyebrow. Starting on the outside, curve around, and just pull that up. Do the same thing on the right side, starting from the inside. Now we're going to draw two smaller circles on the inside for the iris. So on the left side here, right in the middle of the eye, draw a circle, and then in the center we'll draw a little black dot for the pupil. Let's do the same thing on the right. Underneath the eyes, I'm just going to draw two curves for the eye bag. Starting from the inside, we'll just curve down underneath the eye and just pull that out. Now in between the eyes, just down here, we're going to draw on the tip of the nose. So we start with a little U shape first. And then on the end here, it's going to do a little C. Do the same thing on the right in the opposite direction. Now below the nose, we're going to draw in a big smile. So we start on the left side, just directly below the iris. Curve down underneath the nose, and then back up on the right side. Now we're going to curl down the side of the mouth, just curving over. Now we're going to draw a curve for the bottom part of the mouth. So right up here, just going to curve down towards the bottom. I'm going to pull that back up on the right side. Now I'm going to draw some teeth. So in the middle here, I just want to split this with a little curve going across. On the left side here, I'm just going to draw a straight line coming down. And we're going to color this area in black. We do the same thing on the right. Now let's go ahead and separate the teeth. Starting on the top row, I'll draw a straight line down the middle. Now I'm going to work my way towards the left with two lines. We'll do the same thing on the right. Now on the bottom here, I'm going to start in the middle with a straight line. And we draw a little narrower teeth as we go over towards the left. Do 3 lines down the left side and 3 on the right. Just below the mouth, right down here, we're just going to draw a little curve for the lower lip. Now that we have the face, let's work our way down the side of the head. So just on the corner of the eyebrow, just on the side here, we're drawing the cheek, going out, and then just pulling that in right beside the mouth. We'll do the same thing on the right, curving out, and then pulling that in. Now I'm going to come down in the opposite direction with a slight curve, coming down towards the jaw. Now from these points, I want to do a hard turn, curving down towards the bottom of the chin, the rounded chin down here. So we're going to start by going in, we're going to round out the chin, and then go back up on the right side. Let's move back up to the top in the center here, right in between the eyebrows, draw a little point. Let's draw that one little curl coming down first. So from that point, I'm just going to curve out towards the right, and then back towards the left. I just want to taper it out, going out, and then back towards the center. We're going to draw those big spikes along the top. So from here, I'm just going to curve up towards the center spike, going out towards the left, and then up towards the top. And I'm going to draw a little wave coming back towards that starting point. Curving left, right, and then back towards the center. Let's draw another spike on the left side here. So we're going to step over, draw a little curve going out. Now we're going to curve this back in towards the center. Going out towards the left, and then towards the center. Draw another one on the right side. We're going to curve all these hairs going over towards the right. So here we're going to curve over towards the right. Now we draw another wave coming down towards that center point. Going in, going out. Now I'm going to bring this right back in towards the center. Okay, so now that I have the center part of the hair, I'm just going to draw on the top of the head. So for this point in the cheek, I'm going to curve around and then up and in. So going around the eyebrow, we'll just tuck that in. Do the same thing on the right side. Going around the eyebrow and then down towards the top of the cheek. On the side of the cheek, I just want to locate the ears. So from this little point here, I'm going to go out, round it out, and then just pull that in towards the side of the head. And do the same thing on the right. I just want to draw a little bit of inner ear detail. So right here on the left side, we're just going to curve around, back in behind the head. Do the same thing on the right side. Now let's layer the hair in behind. So right here, we're going to draw another spike here. So about halfway along this point, part of the curve, we're going to curve up. I'm going to curve this in behind the head. Let's do the same thing on this side. So right here, we're going to curve up. I'm going to pull this around with a little wave, going in, out, and then in. Now I'm just going to draw the side of the hair. So right up here, I'm just going to curve down just above the ear. Going out around the side of the head and then down. Do the same thing on the right side. We're going to add one more spike on either side here. So just down here, we're going to curve it outwards. We're going to move over towards the right and do the same thing. Now from here, I just want to wave it in and then go around the side of the head. So on the left side, we're going to go in, going around, and then pull it in underneath the ear. Do the same thing on the right side. Now I just want to add a little bit more hair on the side. So down here, it's going to curve out, tuck that in behind the ear. We'll do the same thing on the right side. Okay, so now that we got the head, let's work our way down the body. We're going to start with the canisters along the side of the body here. So right beside the chin, on either side, we're going to do a little half oval. Coming down and then pulling that back up. Move over to the right side and do that same thing. Now we're going to stack the canisters going down. So we're going to draw two more ovals right underneath this half oval. Draw one more right below it. We'll go to the right side and do the same thing. Now we just want to draw the edge of the canisters. So in between these two ovals, we're going to draw a straight line going out. And then in between these two, we'll draw another line, same length. Do the same thing along the bottom. Let's go to the right side and do the same. Now I want to connect these 2 points with another curve. It's like a half oval. Connect these 2 points with another half oval. Now we're going to go to the right side and do the same. Going out and then back in. Same thing with the bottom. Now I want to draw the edge of the top canister. So from this point, I'm going to draw that same curve. Now from here, I just want to draw a straight line going in behind the chin. Just going to add a little edge to the inside of the canister. So right beside the oval, we're going to step out, draw a curve. We do this to all three canisters. Now in between the two bottom canisters, we're going to draw a strap. So a straight line going across, we'll step down and then draw another line. Let's continue working down the body. So about halfway along this canister, we're going to draw a straight line coming down towards the head. Same thing on the right side. Right here, we're going to draw in the little canteen. So we start with a circle, starting from the top, going around, back up. We want to draw a little cross hatch in here. So going in an angle, we draw a straight line, step over and draw that same line. And we do this strap going in the opposite direction, in behind. Going across, in behind, and then continuing on the right side. And we'll do that again. We'll draw the top of the canister right here. So two short lines going out. We'll connect those 2 points with a curve. Now I want to draw in the waistline. So from this point, I want to curve down and then up on the right side, in behind the canister. So close that gap off there and curve up. I'm going to draw a little strap along the side here. So on the side of the canister, we're just going to curve up towards the side of the body. We'll step down and we'll draw another curve. Then right here, we'll draw a little C shape. And then in the inside, we'll draw a little circle for a button. Let's work our way down towards the short. So in the middle, we're going to draw a little curve from left to right, going across. Now on the left side, I want to step in and curve down. Go to the right side, step in, and then curve down. And it's got a ripped up edge of the short here. So we're going to work our way over towards the left with a series of little zigzags. Going across, out to right about there. I'm going to take that point and curve in towards that hip. Let's do the same thing on the right. So we're just going to tear up the bottom edge with a series of zigzags. And again, connecting that point towards the hip with curve. Let's add some patches in the pants. So on the side here, I'm just going to draw a little half circle. Over here, we're going to draw a little square. And then we'll add some stitch lines along the edge. So up here, we're just going to draw 2 little lines. On the bottom, we'll add 2 lines. And then on the side, we'll just add 1. Now on the left side, he's got a peg leg. So we're going to start with this one first. So we start with a half circle tucked in underneath the pant. Starting on the outside, we'll curve down. And we'll just pull that back up. On either side, I'm going to draw a little half circle for a little rivet. Now underneath here, we're going to draw another smaller half circle. And we'll draw the peg coming down towards the bottom. So on the left side, let's draw a straight line. And then on the right, we're just going to taper this a little so it gets a little bit narrower as we come down towards the bottom. We'll close out the bottom with a little curve. We'll step up, just draw another curve up there. Let's go to the right side and draw on this leg. So we start with the inside part of the leg first. So stepping in from the inside of the pant, curve down. Now we're going to go to the outside, right up here, we're going to curve down. I'm going to overlap these 2 points with the curve of the boot. So stepping out, I'm just going to overlap this slightly on both sides. I'm going to step up and draw another curve for the bandage. Let's go ahead and draw on the boot. So from this point, I want to curve down to the same height as we have with the peg. Now we're going to draw on the bottom of the shoe, curving down and then out. From this point, I want to draw on the top of the boot. So we're going to go up and sort of aim towards that heel, but we're not going to go all the way. Go up, aiming towards the heel. We're going to stop right about there. From this point, we're going to draw a straight line coming down. Now we're just going to thicken up the sole. I'm just going to copy that same curve along the bottom. We'll add a little toe cap. So from the top of the curve, we'll just curve down toward the top of the sole. So I want to add a little bit more detail to this peg here. So on the bottom of this curve, I'm just going to curve in the opposite direction, going across. Now down here along the peg, I'm just going to draw a series of little curves going across. So 3 little curves going across the top. Let's go back up and draw in the arm. So I'm going to start with the left side first. We're going to start with the inside part of the arm. So about halfway down the body, right here, we're going to curve out with a short curve. Now we're just going to draw a little notch. We go out with a short angle. Now we're going to draw the thumb with a little half circle, going in and back out. At the end of the thumb, I'm going to draw a little bracket. Now at the bottom of the thumb, I just want to swirl around the bracket and just pull this up. We're going to stack the fingers going over toward the left. So stepping down, curving up again. The third finger, we're just going to come up towards the wrist. Going around and then up to right about there. I'm going to connect those 2 points with a curve for the edge of the wristband. Now we're just going to duplicate this little notch on this side. So from this point of the wrist, I'm just going to angle out. I want to connect that top point to that point here with another curve, just to create a little facet for the bracelet. Then from here, we're going to curve up and in, so aiming towards the shoulder. From that point, I want to copy that curve towards the inside part of the arm. I'm going to add a couple little rivets in here. So 1 circle on the outside, and then 1 on the inside. Now I'm going to draw the outside part of the arm. So I'm going to step in, and then curve it in behind that canister. Up in here, we're going to add some bandages. Curve down and in. We do this 2 more times, curving across, and 1 final time. Now let's go to the right side and draw on this arm. So we start with the inner part of the arm first. So starting at the same point on the outside of the canister, we'll curve down. We draw that half circle for the thumb. And on the end of the thumb, we'll draw a little bracket. At the bottom of the thumb, we're just going to go around the bracket and pull it up. Step down, draw the second finger. Now the third finger, we're just going to go all the way up towards the side of the canister here. So going around, now just aiming up toward that point. Now let's add a little bracelet here. So from this point in the wrist, we'll curve up and then out. We step up and draw that same curve going across. Let's add a little bit more detail to this mechanical arm. So on the outside of the hand, it's going to curve down over the knuckles and then just pull that up towards the wrist. I'm going to add 2 more rivets in here. So one circle on the end and one on the inside. Now the final part, I'm just going to add the big tire in the back with the large spikes. So we're going to have to imagine a big circle in the back here. So I'm going to start right on the jawline, just above this little jaw point, curving out and then down in behind the arm. We'll do the same thing on the right side. Now this is going to curve in between the arm and the body. So down here, let's curve it in. Do the same thing on the right. Let's add 2 spikes along the top. So right here, it's going to angle it out with a straight line. Now we're going to pull that back in. Let's do the same thing on the right side. So lining up the top of the spike, going out, and then we'll pull that back in. We're going to add the tip of another spike going out behind the arm. So right here, we'll go out with a slightly sloped angle. We'll pull that in behind the arm. We'll do the same thing on the right. So coming down, and going back in behind the arm. We'll add one more in between the arm and the body. So right here from this knuckle, we'll come down to a point, and pull it in behind the leg. Do the same thing on the right side. And that's pretty much it. There we have it. There's Junkrat from Overwatch. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.